What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joey Work. I'm back, ready to roll. Last night I gave out the Yankees money line. Unfortunately, the game was postponed because of all the smoke outside. Yeah, I went outside for a little bit today, and I came right back inside. I work from home today, and yeah, it was very uncomfortable. I'll tell you that. My clothes reeked, smelled like I sat next to a fire pit all day, and I was outside for 5 minutes. I don't know if you could see my face is like glowing a little bit. I did do a little face mask today. Let's go. Shout out saucebay.com, saucebay.com, promo code Joey Work right here. Best hot sauce in that mother effing game, baby. All natural. Shaquille O'Neal likes it. Juice World likes it. I mean, Kristen Bell. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Saucebay.com, promo code Joey Work, gets you a nice little discount. But here we go. Going to run through Jabroni Clyde already in the building. Appreciate you. Going to run through every game for tomorrow's slate. That is Thursday, June 8th. And we're going to go by game from a betting perspective. If you have any questions, make sure to throw them in the chat. Otherwise, yeah, we're just going to go here. So we got first game is Dodgers versus Reds. This is a 12:30 start in the Great American Small Park. Reds going for the sweep here, smack it up on the Dodgers. And I mean, I think this Reds team current trajectory is definitely the right way. Obviously, you know, this team has played decent ball as of late. They did call up their young stud, and man, oh man, I think he hit 2 homers today. Ooh, baby, I absolutely love it. I've had him stored on I drafted him in fantasy baseball season long in like the 17th round. I had him stored on my bench until now. And here we go, baby. The guy is a star. He can run. He can hit. This is Ellie De La Cruz, for all you that don't know his name. He can run. He can hit shortstop. He's got a cannon of an arm. He's been like one of the top chasers in the card industry. That's how I've really grown on like a lot of the prospects. That's how I know about, because people have been chasing them for years in the card industry. Now they're slowly getting called up in the majors and slowly starting to see how good these guys are. But he's only making this team a lot more fun to watch, that's for sure, and definitely a much better team. We got a starting pitching matchup: Clayton Kershaw versus Mr. Ashcraft. Kershaw has very good numbers versus this Reds team in a limited sample size. The Reds definitely prefer to hit against righties than over lefties here. But again, in the small park, anything can happen. Kershaw's numbers on the year have been quite good. Definitely his advanced numbers. Hard hit rate under almost 30%, striking out 30% of the batters, barely walking anybody. On the other end, we got Graham Ashcraft, who has somewhat struggled. His advanced numbers not very good, and his strikeout numbers are down compared to last year. I know he had a decent year last year, but he proved that he has a lot of good stuff. So thus far this year, his numbers are definitely down. I do expect him to probably have a little positive regression his way. Kershaw has pitched much better at home than on the road. Obviously, this is on the road in the small park. I would expect the under-over. Let me just pull that up real fast. Under-over set at 10. And Kershaw and the Dodgers minus 200 favorites. I mean, they've been heavy favorites in almost every game this series, and they lost. So do I think the Dodgers get the Ashcraft? Absolutely. Do I trust them to lay minus 200 here? Probably not. Likely that, it is likely that the Dodgers are up after 5. So if you're going to attack this game, I likely take it on the first 5, lay a half run, but you're still probably laying a very juicy line. Let me just pull it up real fast. I would imagine you're laying a very juicy line on the first 5 as well, even laying that half run. Let me see. Yeah, basically the 3 books that are open right now have minus a run and a half on the first 5. And if you know me, I do not bet that. So this is basically a skip. I do think the Dodgers probably come out here and win this game. Yeah, so that's where I'm at here, but I'm not taking it at the number. Brony said he only hit 1 home run today. Yeah, he had a homer and he had a triple. I know he legged out like a normal double for anyone to a triple. But yeah, the guy's just going to make this team better and better. So God bless. All right. Next game we have is Arizona versus Washington. Merrill Kelly versus Josiah Gray. Minus 150 for Arizona. Comeback plus 125 on the comeback for the Nationals. Under over set at 9. I kind of do think, the Nationals are probably Nationals are a team I've bet on a lot this year. They are only like 10 games under 500. They're a spot team. When they're going against a lefty, you bet them. That's basically where I attack when they're going against a lefty. I bet them. I prefer at home, but and really any lefty. And I have bet on Josiah Gray basically a lot this year because I do like the guy. He has very good stuff. As I mentioned in previous videos, he had 2 seasons in the majors. Last year was his first full season in the majors. So this is year 2, essentially year 2. He did struggle in those two years prior, but he has really good stuff. He puts it all together. Anything is possible. Kevin Durant voice, and here he is this year having quite a good fucking year, if I may say, he's pitched how many starts so far? 12 starts so far, ERA at 3, a little over 3, and that's because the last start he only went 5 1/3, gave up 4 earned runs versus the Phillies. But I mean, previously, how many starts in a row? He's only had 1 start where he gave up more than 3 earned runs, 2 starts where he gave up more than 2 earned runs. I mean, this guy has been very, very good. The problems are his walks. His whip is almost 1.5. The problem are his walks because that's with a lot of guys that have good stuff. The problem is normally the walks. If he can limit his walks, this guy can be a number 2 starter on a playoff team, number 2, number 3 starter on a very good playoff team. But he is walking people at a almost 20% clip this year, and that is a recipe for disaster. He gets this Arizona team who, I predicted them to be quite good this year to start the year. They are the leader in the NL West so far. They're 8-2 in their last 10. I mean, this team just finds ways to win games, steal a lot of bases. They're very smart on the bases. I really do like this team. Merrill Kelly has very good advanced numbers. He has good numbers versus Washington team too. Very good VVP versus them. On the year, his numbers have been quite good too. 230x batting average against 20. He's striking people out 28% of the time. He has struggled a little bit of walks, but I don't, it is what it is. His walk numbers are definitely not even close to as bad as Josiah Gray's here. And then the last 5 starts, he hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in any of the starts. Basically going back like 10 starts, he's only given up more than 2 earned runs in 1 start. His strikeout numbers are up. Obviously, this is a guy that, goes out there, you're going to get what you're going to get from him. He's going to pitch 6 innings. He is a hog. He goes out there, pitches 6 innings almost every start. Last year, he threw 200 innings. Year before, he almost threw 200. Like, he's thrown almost 200 innings in 3 seasons out of his 5 in the big. So this guy's an inning eater. I do expect him likely to go out there, pitch good here. We got a short line here. I would lean with the under, but, Washington is, depending on the weather, I know they did cancel. I'm pretty sure they canceled Baltimore tonight. They canceled Yankee Stadium. They canceled the Phillies. So they canceled, or the Baltimore's playing in Milwaukee. So they canceled the Phillies, the Yankees, maybe one other game. But I know they canceled those 2 games. Washington is somewhat, on the East Coast here. So I wonder if that does affect the airflow here. I am seeing a good amount of people are backing Washington to start. I don't know how much. I don't really normally take that into consideration. 75%, 75 degrees is what the weather's supposed to be like at first pitch. It is an early game, 1 o'clock. A lean would be the first 5 under. I haven't pulled a trigger here, but let me see what we got on the first 5 unders. I would imagine it's 4.5, and that's what I would be happy with. Under 4.5 plus 108. Wow, under 5 minus 130. Holy shit. Under 5 minus 125 via bet 365. Under 5. I'm gonna have to hit that. I don't care. We're going on. First official play will be Arizona versus Washington. Under 5, minus 125 via bet 365. I mean, 5 is that number is going to get bet down. This is why we do the capping overnight, because that number is going to be 4.5 when we wake up tomorrow. At game time, 4.5. I can almost guarantee that that's going to happen, even though it's in Washington. The full game is 9. We're going to get 5 on the first 5. They really yeah, we're attacking that one. That'll be my first official play here. Okay, let's move on to the next game. And again, if you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat. I will answer them as we go game by game. Next game we have is Minnesota versus Tampa Bay. Bailey Ober versus Tyler Glasnow. We finally get Mr. Glasnow. Under over set at 7.5 here. And the full game, the money line here is minus 170 with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay did have a bullpen game today, so their bullpen, I think they threw 5-6 different arms today. So their bullpen is definitely not rested here. As for, and they did cut, funny enough, they did cut Tyler Glasnow's start short last start. I know he threw a decently long, but only 5 1/3, and he was cruising. He only gave up a single. He got 5 1/3, got an out, then gave up a single, and they yanked him real fast. He only threw 88, so he's thrown 2 starts this year, 83 pitches, 88 pitches. I would imagine he should be off the leash now after 88. He should be able to go 95 here, maybe 100 at most, unless they're really, really keeping a keen eye on this, which I'm not totally, I wouldn't be surprised if they are, because this guy continues to get hurt year after year after year. He has had pretty good both starts have been pretty good. He's got 14 strikeouts, only 4 walks. He pitched in Boston and versus the Dodgers, so not versus, a cupcake lineup. This is probably the easiest lineup he's going to face here in this Minnesota Twins lineup. Now without Byron Buxton, who went to the IL as well. On the other end, Bailey Ober is a guy I kind of like as well. The big guy, he's over like 6'5"-ish. Don't quote me on that, but he's definitely very tall dude. Throws some gas, mixes in a lot of different pitches, and this Tampa Bay, he has good advanced numbers thus far. His hard hit rate under 30% so far. He's only walking people at a 6% clip, so he has been pitching quite well. He throws his four-seamer a lot. He's a four-seamer slider change guy. He does mix in a curveball, but not very much. And Glasnow, I expect Glasnow probably to mow through this lineup. This another lean would be the first 5 under, but this under is probably 4, maybe even 3.5. So it is going to be a stay away. And the way these two teams are playing, obviously Tampa Bay has the best record in baseball as they just keep mowing through teams 7-3 the last 10. And Minnesota, it plays in that AL Central. And the AL Central is basically up for grabs. Minnesota 31-31, and they're in first in the division by 2.5 games. So, yeah, whoever wants to fucking turn up in that division past the Royals, because the Royals are already 18 or 13 games back, and we've played how many? 60 games? They're 13 games back. So, past the Royals, that division is a 4-man race. Detroit, if Detroit wants to fucking do something, I know they did put a couple of their guys on the IL too. So, but I mean, this division is wide open and it's probably the worst in baseball. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I would be lean with the first 5 under because I don't want to take a full game because, as I mentioned to you guys time and time again, I do not trust the Tampa Bay Rays bullpen. Literally, I have them ranked as the second worst bullpen. It's Oakland, Tampa Bay, Washington. 1, 2, 3, worst 3 bullpens of baseball. So, yeah, no thank you touching that Rays bullpen. Shout out Banks, the GOAT, Mr. Joey Works. Shout out Banks in the house. Do I drink alcohol? Yes. Tequila. I'm a tequila guy. I like to drink Reposado, normally on the rocks. But, yeah, I mix her in some high noons here and then. I go with the flow. Do I have a live bet on its Women's College World Series? I mean, jabroni. I'm putting that on the fucking bottom. Do I have a live bet on the Women's College World Series? Are you shitting my shorts? No, I don't. I bet fucking baseball, MMA, and football when it comes back. That's it. I don't bet basketball because the referee makes the decisions who's going to win. All right? I bet fucking baseball, MMA, and slowly but surely the fucking referees are making the decision in MMA. So I'm slowly but surely making less and less bets at MMA. But my bread and butter's right here on the diamond, right here, baby. Bailey 6'9". Look at that. Yeah, I'll give you a 6'9". Lock of the week for MMA. Ha ha. Jason, I'm putting picks on the sheet tomorrow for PFL. We're fucking throwing out bets tomorrow for PFL. So tomorrow PFL is on. I'm going to have them up tomorrow morning, or maybe even after this video. I'll put a couple of plays up for tomorrow. I was studying the card all day today because I was looking at Saturday's card. I'm not really fancy about Saturday's card. So, but with PFL tomorrow, I'm going to definitely fire some bets on PFL as well. So we do have an action-packed MMA weekend as well. Yes. So Jason, I don't know how long you've been following me or not, but PFL, I've made a lot of money. I probably made more money in PFL than I have in the UFC. Just, I personally enjoy it a lot. I do. But yeah, let's keep moving here. Next game we have is the Baltimore versus Milwaukee. Kyle Bradish versus Colin Ray, is it? We got the Milwaukee plus 100 and Baltimore minus 120. Under-over is set at 9. This should be a good one. Colin Ray is definitely outpitched how good I think he is. He's pitched better than how I think he is. But Kyle Bradish is definitely not a guy I'm fully can get behind either. He never had good numbers in the minors. His major league numbers have never been that good. I feel like every other start, this guy gets rocked. I know he pitched in San Fran. We backed him in San Fran his last start. He gave up 3 earned runs through 4 innings, and then that fucking bullpen just erupted. And I actually have Baltimore's bullpen ranked pretty good, but it just didn't work out that start. I have them actually ranked as the 3rd best bullpen in baseball. So, but yeah, so I definitely don't trust him. He's pitched much better at home than on the road. His last 3 road starts, he went 4 innings, 3 earned runs, 5 innings, 4 earned runs, 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 4 innings, 3 earned runs. So, I mean, not very good. His ERA on the road, I mean, is through the roof. So, yeah, I don't trust this guy on the road. That's for sure. Colin Ray has pitched decent, I guess you could say. At first, I'm pretty sure they moved him in the rotation because they got multiple injuries on this team. Obviously, both the big hogs were hurt for a little bit, but what's his name pitched today? Cy Burns pitched today, so he is back, but Brandon Woodruff's still on the IL, so that's why Colin Ray keeps getting a chance out there. His last 2 starts weren't very good, 11 innings, 7 earned runs. He did give up 3 homers in those 2 games as well, and it was versus Cincinnati and San Fran, so not exactly offenses that personally scare me. Advanced numbers for both these guys are not very good. The only thing that's really in the red is Kyle Bradish doesn't really walk many people. Although other than that, these guys rarely strike out anybody, pitch to contact, giving up a lot of hard hit rate. Neither of them really have that crazy of overpowering fastball. So this is a lean with the over. 8.5 you could find. There is an 8.5 available at FanDuel, -126 I'm seeing. Pick a side. It's basically a crapshoot if you're going to take a side. I do think the Orioles are the better of the 2 teams, but the Orioles have lost, I want to say, first 2 games of this series. Milwaukee has been playing pretty decent as of late, 7-3 the last 10. They're playing in the NL Central, which is arguably the 2nd worst division in baseball behind the AL Central. As I mentioned, the last 2 years, the Central in both leagues is not very good, and it's a repertoire, same thing this year. So that's where I'm at on that game. But let's keep going because there is more games than normal. Normally there's like 8 games on a Thursday. Obviously with the postponements, there's more games. Next game we have is San Fran versus Colorado. Alex Cobb versus Chase Anderson. I mean, how the fuck is Chase Anderson continue to pitch good? He's like Julio Teheran. Julio Teheran got called up. I think he got 3 good starts already. Now we got Chase Anderson guy. How many starts has he had? He started, 4 starts, and he's fucking pitched amazing in all 4 starts, basically. He's given up 2 earned runs total in all 4 starts. No, he's given up 2 earned runs max in all 4 starts. So he went 5 innings, 5 innings, 5 innings, 6 innings. He gave up 0, 2, 1, 2. I mean, guy pitches to contact, another guy. But listen, he pitched against Cincinnati, not a scary offense, not in Cincinnati. Miami, not a scary offense. The Mets, not a scary offense, and the Royals. So Chase is due for a fucking knock around here. Alex Cobb, I mean, arguably had his best start of the year last start out. He pitched 7 2/3, went 103 pitches, only 5 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts in that game. This guy has pitched better at home in his career, and thus far this year's ERA at home 1.43, ERA on the road 4.22, and so far in his career it actually fits that way as well. Cobb is on normal rest. I'm just reading that they said they were going to pitch an opener in this game, but they're going with Cobb. This is in Colorado. It's looking like 53% rain. I do lean with the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco Giants here. Under over is set at 11.5. I'm -190, -180 on the total. So I do lean with San Fran. The odds are way too juiced. I do expect runs, so I'm just going to stay away here. Next game is 4 o'clock. Yankees versus White Sox. -175 looks like Severino they moved up to pitch versus Lance Lynn. So it looks like the Yankees switched pitchers because it was supposed to be Lance Lynn versus Vasquez, but it looks like Vasquez is now going to pitch game 2 versus Clevenger, and Severino is going to pitch game 1. If they play this game, again, the weather here has been terrible. By 4 o'clock tomorrow, I don't know if it's going to be much better, but people can't even stand outside for a while. Under over set at 8.5 in game 1. Basically 8.5 in both games, 9 in the second game. So Lance Lynn versus Severino and Clevenger versus Velasquez. Basically, I'm not seeing a line. -175 via BetMGM. I do think the Yankees win against Lance Lynn. I think the Yankees score some runs off Lance Lynn if this game goes off. Lynn has been terrible, as I mentioned last night. I can read that all again, but the guy has been absolutely terrible. Fatty, him and Alex Manoah have been eating too much fucking donuts or something. I don't know, but it's just, he's been really, really bad. And I think this Yankees lineup can get to him. Stanton is back. I know no Judge, but it doesn't really scare me. Stanton is back. We got third baseman. Nice of him to come back. I think he's already 3 homers thus far since coming back. So yeah, I do think the Yankees get to him. It's just, what are we going to get Severino? I do expect Severino probably to pitch good too. This White Sox team, as I mentioned, does not score me. Second worst in on-base percentage in all of baseball. But minus 175, I'm not laying that. Maybe if you want to bet it, lay the first 5, lay a half run. Otherwise, it's likely to stay away. I wouldn't be surprised if both games gets postponed, at least the first one as well. And then it's going to be a whole different starting pitching matchup. So I'm not even going to talk about it. But next game we have is Detroit versus Philly. Looking like now Detroit is switching their pitcher as well because they had somebody else scheduled to pitch today. Tomorrow it's looking like Tyler Holton. Tyler Holton versus Zach Wheeler. I do like Wheeler. I know he struggled thus far this year, but I definitely expect him to return to his mean. And his mean is probably about 3.3 ERA, 3.5 ERA. So I do expect him to pitch good. He did get shelled his last start out. And, basically gave up. He's got hit hard 3 of his last 4 starts. This is a guy in his career pitches much better at home. Here he is at home versus a Detroit team who does not scare me at all. Reese Olson was supposed to start today. Instead, they pushed him since the game was postponed. They're going to go with Holton to start, and this will be his first major league start. He has pitched out of the bullpen in his career, and almost even in the minors, he's essentially pitched out of the bullpen his entire career. He's only had probably about 25 starts total. And a decent amount of appearances. So it's probably going to be an opener situation where Reese Olson will get to be the opener. Tyler Holton will be the opener and he'll hand it over to Reese Olson. So if they think that's going to work, God bless the team. And then Detroit's bullpen. Let me pull up Detroit's bullpen because I'm sure it's fucking bad. Yeah, Detroit's bullpen I have as the 13th worst in baseball. So not terrible, but definitely not good. So I definitely expect this Phillies team to start scoring some runs, and if it should be happening, it should be happening soon because, I know Wheeler has got hit hard, but his advanced numbers have been pretty damn good. His exit velocity against him is down. He barely walks anybody. He barely walks anybody every year. His strikeouts are almost 30% strikeout rate. So I do expect, as I mentioned, Zach Wheeler to schedule back to his mean and probably throw some good starts here. But we got a line of what's the line here? Minus 260, minus 235 is the best I'm seeing. So it's essentially unbettable at that number. Under we're set at 7.5. So yeah, we're going to stay away. It is Phillies or pass. Maybe lay the 1.5 with the Phillies if you want to get crazy. But as you know, I do not lay a 1.5 with a home team. So I am going to stay away. J-Roll fam, what up, baby? Joey in NFL mode. Banks, what up, baby? Appreciate you all hanging out. Hit the like button. Throw a comment in the comment section. I don't think since I moved over to the fucking Run Pure Sports side, nobody even comments on the videos. Nobody hits the like button. I can't get no retweets on Twitter anymore, bro. I gave out a free play last night. I got like 8 likes. On Saturday, I said, hey, who wants a free play? You got to hit the like button. Fucking 99 likes. Like, I know you guys see both tweets. You don't hit the like button for it because I already gave it to you without asking. From now on, I ask it all the time. Fuck it. Like, what are we doing? All right. We move on. Next game we have is Houston versus Toronto. Under over set at 8 or 8.5 in spots. Framber Valdez versus Jose Berrios. Wow, we get I'm firing on Houston here. Minus 120 full game. I do think Houston is the better 2 teams. Framber is arguably, he's in the run for AL Cy Young every year. The guy pitches good. I know he has 4 losses on his resume, but that doesn't mean shit to me here. Just because he gets no run support, He has won 4 of his last 5 starts, the 1 bad start versus Chicago White Sox. But even his last 3 starts, he allowed 1 total earned run in 24 innings. How about that? 19 strikeouts. You can't get much better than that. I know he got Oakland in 2 of those starts versus the Angels. Not very, not very scary here. And now he gets a Toronto team in Toronto. Thank God they got a dome because we wouldn't be able to play there with the fucking all the wildfires coming from Canada. But with that said, they did move the fences in, so he is a little susceptible to some runs. But so you look at Jose Berrios' numbers, right? He's pitched good his last 3 starts. You can say, oh, I can say the same thing that I said about Framber about his numbers versus Berrios, right? Let's just pull it up real fast. So Berrios, he's pitched 19 innings. His last 19 innings, he only allowed 2 earned runs. But he pitched on the road all those starts. And he also had 10 walks in those 3 starts, while Framber had 3 total walks. He pitched in Tampa Bay, in Minnesota, in the New York Mets. We know Mets Stadium is a pitcher-friendly park. Tampa Bay is a pitcher-friendly park. Minnesota can't hit for dick. So if you look at his 2 starts before that, he pitched 2 games at home, gave up 5 earned runs in both those starts. So, yeah, where are we at here? I definitely expect Berrios to, I guess, pitch decent, but not very good. His ERA on the road so far this year, 2.2. ERA at home, 4. So, I mean, like his numbers in his career essentially have been obviously better at home, but this year I think this park is playing a little more hitter-friendly, and arguably, I mean, Framber is definitely the better start of the 2. The Astros are definitely the better team of the 2. Bullpen-wise, Houston I have ranked as the 4th best bullpen. Toronto as the 5th best bullpen in all of baseball. Offensive-wise, I definitely trust Houston over Toronto. Toronto has, I know they've been playing well as of late, but this Houston team is arguably the hottest team in baseball. Going to Sunday, they had won 19 of the last 25 games. So, yeah, they might have split the series 1-1 here. I mean, just top to bottom, this Astros lineup is better in my opinion. I think the Astros are a better team. So I'm going to fire on Houston Astros minus 120 via BetMGM as my second official play here. Astros moneyline minus 120. All right, next game we have is Boston versus Cleveland. I'm not seeing a total. I'm not even seeing any lines on this game. That's great. Probably because we don't know who's going to pitch for Boston, but I know we got Aaron Savali for Cleveland. We got Matt Dermody, promoted from AAA Walchester. He holds a 5.60 ERA through 27 innings in his major league career. Great. Yeah, we trust that guy, right? I mean, his numbers in the minors have been terrible too. Yeah. So God bless. This guy's 32 years old. Never made it in the bigs. Do we trust this guy? Absolutely not. Savali, on the other end, not exactly somebody I trust either. I know he, like last year, or not last year, but the year before, he had a really good season. But last year, he welcomed back to, his usual self, almost a 5 ERA. He basically pitches somewhat to contact. So he had 3 starts in the minors where he didn't pitch more than 4 2/3 innings. Then he comes up to the majors. He's only pitched over 5 2/3 innings, 1 start. He pitched against Seattle 2 times and Minnesota once. Now he gets a Red Sox team who definitely knows how to hit the ball and score some runs. Last I looked, they're 4th in runs scored this year. So I definitely lean over here. We don't have a total in this game. I don't even have a money line, so I'm just going to skip it. That's all I'll talk about. But I do think both teams will likely score here, and that's where we're at there. Jabroni Clyde says Framber over Garrett Cole. Jabroni, he's probably a better pitcher right now. Coming from a Yankee fan, it pains me to say that. But Nathan Eovaldi for AL Cy Young. Let's keep going. Next game we have is Mets versus Braves. I did take the Braves on the money line today against fucking Mad Max One-Eye Scherzer. Cash it. Now we get Verlander versus Spencer Strider, and the line is significantly different than last night, right? So I got minus 120 on the Braves last night against fucking Mad Max. The line tomorrow, Spencer Strider minus 170 is the best I'm seeing available. Come back on the Mets, plus 145, plus 150 in spots. And under over is set at 8.5. I mean, Strider has been the best pitcher in baseball to this point, but I know he started out of the gate amazing. his last couple starts, he's given up runs. His last 4 starts, we'll say. So his last 4 starts, he gave up 10 total home runs. He's given up at least 1 home run in each of those starts. The first one, he gave up 2. Obviously, strikeout numbers are up. He has been walking people too. He has 11 walks in those 4 starts. So maybe the tide has turned a little bit. Maybe he just played against some good teams. He pitched against Texas, who offensive-wise has been very good. The Dodgers, Phillies, and Arizona, who, as I mentioned, know how to generate some runs here. But he's going to probably pitch 6 innings versus Mets lineup that really, on paper, on fucking the field, does not scare me. So I'll just tell you that. And Verlander has, I feel like Verlander goes out there, pitches good, pitches bad, pitches good, pitches bad. Every other start, it's good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. And then now this is a lineup for a bad start in Atlanta versus the division rival versus arguably, one of the best teams in baseball, if not the best team in baseball. I know Rays fans might get mad at me for saying that, but this Braves team is very good, top to bottom. And I definitely like the Braves. So, yeah, I'm likely going to stay away just because this number is way too juiced for me. I'm not taking minus 170 on the Braves here. We're probably both aces on the hill. The Braves likely get it done, but, yeah, it's a stay away game for me. So, the next game I do have is Clevenger versus Randy Vasquez and the Yankees versus White Sox. I'm not really going to talk much more about that as I did earlier, but I may fire on one of those games, if not both of those games. So I will let you guys know in the Run Pure Sports, Run Pure Bets Discord. If I do fire, I'll tag the bets. I'll tag everyone in the bet section in the MLB chat and just let you know what the exact bet is and what we're doing there. But yeah, essentially, I'm just gonna not bet anything until I hear more news on those games for tomorrow. Next game we have is Cubs versus Angels. This is the last game, 9:30 p.m. Odds are under over set at 9, and we have the Angels minus 135 favorites with the Cubs a comeback plus 115. Drew Smiley versus Reed Detmers. Pretty surprising that this line is where it's at. I would expect probably this game to be essentially this game should probably be a pick 'em. Obviously, I'm not over exaggerated to bet on or to be happy to bet on either of these starters here. I definitely like Smiley over Detmers, though. Detmers is supposed to turn a page, and the page he looks like he's turned is the wrong one. I'll tell you that. I know he's had like a couple decent starts, I guess, where he's only allowed 2 earned runs, but this guy literally goes out there, gives up 3, 2, 3, 4 earned runs every single start. His last 3 starts, 3 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 4 earned runs. He pitches 5 innings and gives up 3 earned runs every time against Minnesota, Miami. Like, these teams are not fucking world beaters. He does have good stuff. He just doesn't put it all together. He's walking people. His whip is over 1.5. So, yeah. These guys are both lefties, lefty on lefty crime here. I definitely trust Drew Smiley a little more. And the Cubs, the Cubs have been playing sneaky good baseball. And Smiley's advanced numbers have actually been quite good. The thing with Smiley that scares me away is basically a two-pitch guy. He throws a sinker and a curveball. He mixes in a cutter a little bit, but it's really a 2-pitch guy, and that's hard to get away with that being a starter in the major leagues. As a reliever, I get it. You come in, pitch 1 inning, 2 inning at max. You could get away with it. Being a starter, having to see a lineup, he rarely sees a lineup the third time through exactly because of that. He doesn't really strike many people out, but again, he doesn't really walk many people. While on the other end, Detmer strikes a lot of people out, but he fucking walks people at a high clip too. So this is basically a toss game, pick'em game. In my opinion, it would be a pick'em. Both these teams have been playing, I guess decent. I think the Cubs have been playing quite well compared to, where they should be. And Angels are about 500 team. I definitely don't trust either of these teams really. I don't think either of these teams make the playoffs. I don't really at all. The Angels did throw 4 guys out of their bullpen today, so their bullpen is a little taxed. Actually, both teams did. The Cubs threw four guys out of the bullpen. Both teams basically threw their bigger arms 2 out of the bullpen. So I expect this game, depending on the weather, I expect this game to likely go over that 9. It's looking like 69 degrees. So I wish it was a little hotter in LA, and I would fire on and over here because I think both teams are susceptible. Let me see where I have the bullpen ranks here. LA Angels, 11th worst in baseball. Chicago Cubs is the 10th best. So, yeah, I definitely have the Angels bullpen a little worse than the Cubs. I do expect some runs, but, if you look at the lineups on paper, especially the Angels lineup, the 7, 8, 9 is fucking garbage. And I mean, even you could go to the Cubs, it's somewhat the same. So it is. I am gonna stay away. But yeah, so I got 2 official plays. I went through every single game on the sheet on the tomorrow's slate. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat now. My 2 best bets are under 5 -125 be a bet 365 Arizona Washington first 5 under 5. And then I'm taking the Houston Astros money line -120. Those are my 2 official plays that I'm moving forward on this free sheet. I'll likely tell Run Pure Bet subscribers I'm going to add at least 1 play, maybe 2, and I will tag you guys in the Discord. Likely, I'll be up early tomorrow, so maybe likely tomorrow morning, maybe a little bit later. I'm also going to fire on some PFL bets for Run Pure Bets subscribers only. If you guys want to sign up, runpurebets.com, runpuresports.com, 33% off. Look at that. Summer 33. That's my ex-girlfriend's name. So you might as well fucking sign up. Get some summer. What? Do I bet MLS? Jabroni, are you just fucking with me at this point? Who the fuck bets soccer? You might as well donate to charity, bro. Pronunciation is messed up here in New England. Judge over Barry Bonds. I mean, come on. Worcester. Invite still stands if you want to come to the College World Series. You got a ticket to any game. All right, Clyde. Clyde, I'll be in Chicago next week. I'm going to Bellator. My boy Corey Anderson fighting Bellator next Friday. Let's fucking go. And then I think Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'll also be there. I'm going to go to a White Sox game. I'm imagining that you mean that's the College World Series, not the Chicago White Sox, right? I'm going to go to a White Sox game and a Cubs game. So anybody in Chicago, hit me up. I'm going to likely be there dolo. And yeah, I'm just going to try to knock down every baseball stadium possible. But hit the like button before we get out of here. I'll be back Sunday with JJ Holden, Gary, giving you more winners. I appreciate you all. Otherwise, peace and love. Your boy's out.